Today we're talking to Pace,
Hi guys, I'm Pace from Shanghai.
who was at all-time highs with $140,000 of profits.
That this stock squeezed up to 20, 30, 50, and even to 100. But this is on the front side, so it's pretty dangerous.
Welcome to Undiscovered Traders, the podcast that focuses on the charts, stats, and edge of the latest six-figure verified traders who have rarely, if ever, been interviewed before. Today we're talking to Pace from Shanghai, China, who was at all-time highs with $140,000 of profits, which he's made just in the last year. So today we're going to cover his stats, what it does for his edge, and a little bit on charts. But first of all, Pace, you are running at pace to the $1 million. How are you, sir?
Thank you, Stephen. Looking forward to it. And hi guys, I'm Pace from Shanghai, and glad to talk with Stephen today.
Pace, it's very, very, very good to have someone else representing China. We only see Stephen Ducks from China.
Yeah, so I was an undergraduate and graduate student in US several years ago, and it was during that time that I discovered day trading, and also Stephen Ducks. I have taken his course before,
Nice.
and some of my strategies are derived from his strategies. So he's definitely my kind of like model for trading, for the trading path. So yeah.
Very, very nice. So is that someone that you aspire to be like? I mean, from your point of view, from taking his course, is there anything that you notice about? I've actually met Stephen Ducks. I've met Stephen Ducks once or twice. I met him at a Tim Sykes conference years ago. I've interviewed him, Stephen Ducks, as well. But is there any one thing that makes him stand out as like such a great trader?
Yeah, so I think several things so there are a lot of different great traders and mentors on YouTube, and I think one thing stand out is like personally he is also Chinese, so that we have a lot of in common. And he's also a student from China and going to US for college study, and his background is not finance. He's not a finance guy. He's not a he's not he's focused on gaming and engineering. But when he discovered trading, I think one thing that stand out and attractive to me is that he's very hard on working. He's tried very hard on getting his trading better. So making writing down the stats, tracking down every volume, and studying very hard. And so I admire him for that reason. And I also doing the same thing, tracking stats and tracking all the different patterns, try to make my feelings and my trading better.
You've been trading for how long? Have you been trading just 1 year or longer?
No, I have been trading since 2020, and during 2020 is the bull market, and so everyone is going to the bull market. I'm also buying for long-term investment. And also, I discovered day trading, and I tried different trading strategies. I tried large cap day trading, swing trading, option trading, momentum trading, etc. And none of them works well for the first 2 years. So yeah.
But things are going a bit better now. You're up 100K plus. Do you want to screen share? We'll have a quick look at some of your stats. Okay, so we have got Pace's stats up now. Pace, I'm very excited to take a look through. Walk us through what you've achieved.
Yeah, so I think for the last year, I have earned, this is my best year. So I have earned over $130,000 in profit. And I think one thing that I'm proud of is like keeping a record here. My accuracy is at about two-thirds, and for my all-time accuracy is about two-thirds. And that's something that I want to achieve because I want high accuracy. I know that for a great trader, the most ideal situation is that we have two-thirds of accuracy, and the profit risk ratio is 2 to 1. So that I think that's the most ideal. But my average but my profit versus risk ratio is about 1 to 1. And even it's below 1 to 1. So later I will focus more on the profit versus risk ratio, and my accuracy I want to keep it at 2/3. So that is my general stats, and this is just only one of my strategies. I have another strategy which works more on a larger account size, and that one is, so this one is more about day trading and swing trading on shorting small caps, and the other strategy is more on selling options, which is another thing. So but yeah, this is my general stats for this particular strategy. And I think one thing that particularly interesting to me is let me try reports and days and time. And you can see that for my P&L for the week, it's pretty different. Like I have the best performance on Friday, and on Monday and Thursday. Even Thursday is my in total is lose. So which means that if I don't trade on Thursday, then it's better for me. This is particularly interesting. I would say like I try to analyze the reason behind it, because most of my strategy are about shorting small cap momentum stocks. And I think like on Monday, most likely it's like on Monday, because most of those stocks need news catalyst. However, on Monday, most of those stocks they lack the catalyst. Most of those catalysts come after Monday. So that's why for Monday, the trading, it's more like the stock market is pretty stable. There's not much small cap stocks are squeezing up higher. On Thursday, I'm not sure, but I will definitely avoid it later. So this is the stats that after analyzing the stats, I try to adjust my trading style to make my performance better.
Yeah, makes sense. Is there much more in here, by the way, for anyone who wants to know? This is on Kinfo Pro, this report future, where you've got your stats, your days and times, you've got your tag symbols. This is actually free at the moment for 1 month free trial. You just have to click upgrade on your account.
Yeah. And another thing that I think on my edge I want to talk about is the P&L by entry hour, because most of the day traders they take trade after maybe 8 a.m. and most of the momentum from 8 a.m. to pre-market to maybe 11 a.m. So these 3 hours, most of actions I happen during these 3 hours. However, since I'm in China, so I can do the full pre-market, which means that 4 a.m. EST, and in China it's like 4 p.m. So which means that I can totally take the grabs of it. So later we will show the chart for TNON. So that's how I can take advantage of the time zone in China. So I can take advantage of the trading or the patterns for 4 a.m. because those patterns, most of the traders in US they cannot play.
Do you not find that pre-markets, a lot of people say don't trade pre-market's dangerous, you can't set stops in pre-market. So how is that for you? Because a lot of your profits are coming in pre-market.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So I would say for new beginners, definitely not try pre-market because we don't have stop order and the spread are big. However, pre-markets can definitely provide you with a lot of opportunities. Particularly one, I realized that on 4 a.m. and 5 a.m., like the first hour of the pre-market, some of the stocks sometimes maybe happens once or twice per month. They will squeeze up by no reason. And those squeeze up or those spike up will die out in like 10 or 30 minutes. So when you wake up in the morning, the opportunities are definitely gone for shorting. The opportunities for shorting are definitely gone. So since I'm in China, and I can try to size up and monitor the pre-market actions pretty carefully. However, the only thing in pre-market is that you cannot size too much because the volume and the spread are too low and the spreads are too large. So we need to be particularly careful and cautious during pre-market, but there are definitely opportunities on pre-market.
Yeah. So I mean, how would you measure? I mean, we'll look at the chart later, but how would you measure, say a stock pops up, you check, there's no news, you check the float is more than 3 million. The stock can still go to 100, you don't know, it can go from 1 to 100. So how do you measure where the top might be? Are you looking for a double top or what?
Yeah. So when I'm trying to shorting those stocks, there are two things. Firstly, I will size up gradually. So I will not, for example, if my ultimate size is like 300 shares or 500 shares, I will definitely size like 30 shares the first time, and maybe if it's squeeze higher and the 30 shares later. So it will be in my comfort zone. That's the first thing. And the second thing is like when the stock actually shows some signs of weakness. So that's the ultimate thing that I'm looking for, the signs of weakness. It's either a double top, or it's like the trend line breakdown. So I like the trend line breakdown even more because like why squeezing up is following a pretty beautiful trend line, uptrend. But when trend line breaks down, it either goes downside or it will goes with consolidation. And I will try to size up there. And when the consolidation breaks down, that's another sign of weakness. So I will size up more. So try to size up accordingly for different time zone, different pattern. But in your comfort zone, do not size up too much at the first time.
I used to live in Dubai and I lived in England as well. So I would have the pre-market just like you. It would be like 10 in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning in England. I'd be looking at the computer. It's 5 a.m. in America. And I made I made most of my money trading in the pre-market just like you because, I mean, when there's a hot sector or the market's really, really strong, pre-market can be a little scary. But when the market is a little bit weaker, 90% of the stocks die pre-market. You catch the moves that everybody misses and you catch the bigger move and most of them fail. So I completely understand your strategy, but you're going one step further. We can get doing the 4 a.m.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I figured out, and I think I mean not most, but a lot of my largest trades are coming from the pre-market because there are some during the pre-market there's some strange algo spike or whatever. There's some low volume squeeze, which is pretty. I know this seems pretty dangerous, but I would say based on my understanding and perspective, the low volume pre-market squeeze easier to die out during regular sessions because the pre-market squeeze up and are built up with low volume, which means that not many people are buying it. But if the stock like squeeze up during regular sessions with high volume, that's something you need to be cautious of because that's different situation.
No, that 100% makes sense because you know that the market makers and the manipulators, they're getting in when there's only the volume, they're manipulating, they're squeezing the shorts, but there's not much money in it for market makers at 4 o'clock in the morning. They're probably not even awake. Do you know what I mean? So I
Absolutely.
understand what you're saying. It's light volume, it's likely to fall. It could be some shorts getting squeezed to cover that. It makes a lot of sense what you say. I think I need to try this. But do you have any more stats that you want to go for, or we'll jump to the chart?
Yeah, we can jump onto the chat.
Okay, so now we are looking at one of Pace's recent trades. This is recently, it was only about a week or two back. We are looking specifically at this area. So it's basically, I mean, Pace, you can walk us through and then I'll go into the intraday chart.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the TON stock, most of the action happens during September 12th. So on September 12th, it's gap up and it fades all the way to $4. So I did not play on that day, but on the other day, as I mentioned, during pre-market, I noticed that the stock squeezed up to 20, 30, 50, and even to 100 in 5 minutes with very low volume, as you can see on the chat here.
Yeah.
And so it's not this day. Yeah, it's this day. Yeah. So it's just usually it's just 100. It's just 5 minutes and it squeezed up from 4 to 100. So with low volume. So it's pretty crazy. So the first thing I checked is whether it had some particularly strange news. No, I would assume that they have no news because basically no news. There's no news can help a stock gap up like this percent, right? So I checked. There's no news. So I know that this is a pure short squeeze. So the next thing that I ask myself is, where should I get in, and where should I get in, and how should I set up? So basically, I think this is a big opportunity because I know it will fade up later. So my size would be 300 shares to 500 shares. That's basically on my comfort zone. So on the third 5-minute chart, you can see here when it squeeze up from 100 and just die out from 60. So this is the first 5 minutes red candle. So I size up a little bit, and then after 10 minutes it squeeze up to 65, and then just a doji candle, and it start to fade. And I would treat this as a normal double top, and I size up more on 60s and 65, and then it goes all the way down.
Just one sec, Chris. Did you send the chart? Are you looking at the chart on the screen here?
Yeah, so this is the chart.
On the chat? The chart. The chart on the screen now, right?
Yes.
So wait a second. Where are you getting in? Sorry, because I can see it goes literally. This is a 15-minute chart, right? So it goes 3 to 130 in 15 minutes.
Yeah. So basically, I size up a little bit when it goes to 100, but this is on the front side, so it's pretty dangerous. But when you can see on the third candle is a red candle, which is what I said is the first sign of weakness. So I found the first sign of weakness. I size up a little bit more, and then after 2 candles, you can see that there's one candle goes up to 60, 80, 85. Goes up to 85 again. Yeah. So this is what I would say an irregular double top. Though the pattern in the pre-market is not that do not work pretty well, but I would assume that this is a double top, so I can size up more. So I try to size up here, and after it breaks down, I did not size up more because my profits are enough for my trade. I do not want to earn more, and also I'm afraid that during regular sessions it will try to hold up several times, which is pretty dangerous if my sizes are too large. So I did not size up later. So my average on this trade is $60, so which is pretty good. And I would say $60, and I think I have 300 shares. So I covered around $10 on the regular session. So my profits on this total trade is around like 100 15K. Yeah.
15K, but do you not get scared? Because I've tried to do things like this before, and I'm short at 20, then I'm short at 22, then short at 26, then short at 28, and then it goes to 130.
Yeah. So my take is like do not size up too much on the front side, because you can. So it's a temptation to short when it gets 100, and I do short on 100, and I'm pretty scared. But my size are pretty small at that moment. And as I said, the squeeze up on pre-market, I love it more because the squeeze up pre-market are easier to die out. But the squeeze up during regular sessions, like LPA this year, that is a squeeze up during regular sessions is more difficult.
Makes full sense. But is there a point where you take a, say your average is 60, you take a very small position, take a very small position, take a very small position. If it goes to 200 or 300s, do you ever think, okay, do you ever think like, okay, I'm down more than I'm comfortable, I'm out?
Yeah, absolutely. I will definitely have a stop out, but my stop lose session for this trade is more like during regular sessions. So what I was thinking during that time is like so the pre-market hopefully is consolidation or downside. If during regular sessions, for example, at the opening bell, it's held up several times, or it's held up over the pre-market high, like 150, I will definitely stop out. Because as I said, most of my logics for this trade is based on that pre-market squeeze up. It's not very strong. So the pre-market pattern are easier to be broken. Yeah. However, if in regular sessions there are some volumes going trying to squeeze the stock up, then I know that something is wrong, and I don't want to play with it, and I will try to stop out and try to sense another sign of weakness to try again maybe.
Makes sense. And I'm sure that you've tracked a lot of stats on this, and I'm sure that you know that probably 95% of these things fail. So you know that it's super, super high. It's just a little bit of risk on the front side, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't, and yeah, for my account, because I'm doing the shorting strategy. So for my account, basically why I try to cash out while in a certain fixed amount of money. So even if my account are blown up, like the worst situation, then I'm still fine. So I think that's some suggestions I will give to beginners. If you want to try shorting strategies, you definitely need to cash out, because when you are shorting stocks, everyone has the possibility of being margin called.
Yeah, and like that's the thing as well. There's so many brokers available now that you can, especially outside of the USA, you don't even need $25,000, right? I think for you in China, for you now, if you've got an account with a Chinese residence, you have like the option of $5,000 accounts, $10,000 accounts.
Yeah, I do have the option and I do have a Trade Zero account for $5,000, but this is not very so it's not a benefit or advantage to me, because my size are actually larger than 5,000. So
yeah, but it's just you have the flexibility anyway that you say, okay, if I blow $40,000, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. That's for sure. That's sure. Maybe like maybe later if I earn $500,000, I will try something like small account challenge. I don't know. I definitely admire. I definitely look forward to it, but I will firstly stand up more.
No, but I think from what I can say, it's you've definitely got a solid strategy. I mean, there's some risk in it, but there's risk in the market no matter what you do, and it seems like you've got it locked down. I really appreciate you going through the stats. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you taking us through the trade. Do you have any final tips for beginners, or any golden nuggets or pieces of advice for new traders?
Yeah. So I have a lot of suggestions, because I have been through, as I said, the first 2 years are pretty bad for me. But I have some of my friends are trying to start trading at the same time that all of them give up. Because like at the beginning of the first 2 years, they found that it's pretty time consuming, but no profit. So they all give up. But my suggestion to beginners is, like, if you love trading, it will definitely reward you. But you definitely need to try hard to learn and try to take pain, because there's no pain, no gain, right? Because you need to. So I don't know. I don't know others, but I would assume that most of the traders will lose at the first year, because the first year, even though you can learn a lot of trading psychology, you can read a lot of books, you can learn different patterns, it doesn't matter, because you will still lose. But I think my turnaround is like after 1 or 2 years, I realized that firstly I found my suitable strategy that fit my characteristics, and the second thing, the most important thing is like I have a better feelings for stock charts. So because every day I try to analyze the charts for small caps and large caps like Nvidia, Tesla, SPY, etc. I have a feeling that when this pattern emerges, it's dangerous. It will fade out, etc. So these feelings is something that you cannot learn from YouTube or from book. It's learned from your everyday reading the charts. So I think that's why trading is kind of hard for beginners, because you don't have the feelings. You need to build up the feelings, but you need to pay money and take pace to build up their feelings.
And I mean, you've got your strategy, you found your edge, you've tracked your stats. But I mean, for someone new, where would you recommend that they started? Where would you recommend that they go to get where you are now, to get to 6 figures?
I would say the one thing important is like you need to try to find the strategies that fit your characteristics. So there are different strategies out there, and every strategy, there are traders that can earn money from it. However, you need to find the strategy that can definitely fit your characteristics. For example, when I tried day trading, I tried scalping. I tried long, only do longs for momentum small cap, but I can't do it because my characteristics, I focus more on the accuracy. I know that those small caps, they can. So for example, it's like $10 right now, and it goes to $11, and I can sell it. But when for example, if I buy it like 500 shares and it drops to 950, I will freak out because I'm just afraid that this stock will collapse and I will stop lose and the stock goes to a new high. And this can happen several times, and I realize that this is the strategies that I cannot follow because I know that directional I'm wrong, but I'm shorting the stock. I know that directionally I'm right, so I can only follow the technical patterns. And as I mentioned, I have another strategy. It's not here on Kinvo. It's more about selling options, selling out of money options. And as most of people know, that selling options has high accuracy, right? So this is basically the same thing. Basically the same thing for shorting strategy. So I want to, so I know that this fits my characteristics, and if you follow your discipline to stop loss, on the expected value is positive, and you can definitely earn money from it. But there are definitely people that can, scalping in, scalping out in 1 minute or 30 seconds, and those strategies fits the characteristics that are quicker. So so I used several years to figure out my characteristics and my fitting strategies. So I think for beginners, you need to so this is something that you need to figure out yourself.
That's fantastic, and I think that's a wrap. Really appreciate you coming on. Thank you for being transparent based. Thank you for going through your stats. Thank you for going through the pro stats. Thank you for giving advice on the pattern. You've given tremendous value to the community. So if there's any final words, I'll let you close it out.
No, I don't have any final suggestions. And thank you, Stefan, for hosting me. And and also I would love to share more of my suggestions and ideas later if we have any other sessions. And I will definitely. So I'm definitely willing to help new traders and to get over their situations. And the last thing I want to say is, like, if you love trading, just take more time to do it. And even if you take pains, it will reward you later.
Good man. Thank you, Piers.
Thank you, Stefan.